What's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. My name's Jenny, and if this is your first time here, then we got something in common because it's my first time as well. I'm really interested in the real deal versus replicas, which is what today's video and my future videos are going to be about. I just like to compare the real deal versus replicas, just kind of learn what makes them different so that I don't go out one day and buy a fake product thinking that it's the real thing. I do want to preface all my videos though by saying that I don't condone buying fake products, and I'm not going to link anything down below for any of the fake stuff that I buy. This video, all these videos are going to be just kind of fun, kind of educational, just like comparing and contrasting the differences because I think it's really interesting. So to start off, today we have something very exciting. I have two Michael Kors wallets. Michael Kors is my favorite brand. I think it's so classy. I love it. And so before we get into it, if you guys just want to take a second, pause the video, comment down below which one you think is the real one and which one you think is the replica, and then we'll get into it afterwards. So just go ahead and leave me a comment which one is the real one and which one is the replica. Okay, so if you said this is the real deal and this is the replica, then you'd be right. This is an authentic Michael Kors wallet that my mom had bought for me at the actual Michael Kors store for I think around $98, she said. It was like $100. And then this one I bought from AliExpress for $12. And if you guys aren't familiar with AliExpress, it's a website based in China where a lot of different vendors, it's kind of like eBay but without the bidding. Just a bunch of vendors sell stuff there, and if you're not buying fake products, I think it's a great website. Everything is a little cheap, I do admit. Shipping does take a long time, but there's some really fun stuff on there. I do really like AliExpress, just not for buying fake stuff. So right off the bat, I can just tell the difference just by the way they feel. So this one feels thicker. It feels like there's more to it. It just feels like better quality, not super flimsy or cheap. The outside just feels really nice and soft. This one feels cheap and flimsy, especially on the bottom right here. And you can just feel it. It just doesn't feel like a nice high quality item. Going on to the hardware. So I'm going to go with this one. Let's talk about the zipper for a little bit. So this is a fake zipper. Even though it does have the MK on it, most Michael Kors hardware is going to have the actual name printed across it, heat stamped. So the MK on this one is raised up, but what you want to look for is the name spelled out and it heat stamped. So I do have an example right here of one of my authentic wallets, one that's different from my black one, and if you look right here, it says Michael Kors. It's kind of hard to see, I apologize, but it does say Michael Kors on each side and it's heat stamped, and it's really good quality. You can see each letter perfectly. It's right in the center perfectly. The actual zipper itself is a good shiny stainless steel, while this one looks like it's painted. There's little tiny spots in it that maybe dust got under before it got painted, but it definitely looks like a painted zipper. So I'd be really curious to see it chip and fade as time goes on. And so with this one, I don't have a zipper on this one, but I will compare the hardware on the front. The MK on it is good quality. I know it's scratched a little bit, but I have used this for about a year. It's been in and out of bags. But down below, underneath the MK, is the actual name, Michael Kors. Just like my blue wallet, it is heat stamped. Each letter is perfectly distant from each other. It's very well quality done. And you can tell that this MK isn't just painted over. So I've had this for a year. There's no chipping on it. It's obviously whether it is or isn't painted, it's not a cheap kind of material on top of it. Very good quality. This one, I don't know how well you guys can see it. I see it a little bit in person, but the Michael Kors across is some of the letters are so slightly off. And I can see it kind of between the A and the E and the Michael, where it's just by looking kind of close at it, it's that doesn't look perfectly straight when a real Michael Kors should. So I have another bag that I want to compare that does have the name across. This is an authentic Michael Kors purse, and you can see the Michael Kors is perfectly straight, perfectly right in the center of the bag, and there's not going to be any flaws with the actual lettering, unlike this one, which are just a little off. I don't know if you guys can see it. Another thing with the replica one is that the letters are painted on, and there's paint on the fake leather. So I'm going to hold it close again. If you can see, like, around the R and the S, and there's some like on the H, there's actual paint on the actual wallet, which to me is a huge like red flag. Like, if I saw this, I, like, not knowing that it was fake, I would be really skeptical about that. So let's go look on the inside of them. Now I'm going to go back to the real one. So the real one, you open it up, this is what it looks like on the inside. This is leather on the inside, and it has some lining. It's got a mix of leather and lining. And the one main thing that this has that my replica does not have is there is a Michael Kors heat stamp in there. And like the front of this wallet and my blue wallet, the Michael Kors is like perfectly stamped. There's no flaws in between the letters or anything like that. Each letter is pressed down equally so that it doesn't look like some are deeper than the others and higher than the others. It's just a perfect heat stamp. Another thing with this one is, and it might be kind of hard to tell because I am in poor lighting, but the lining on the inside, if you guys can see that, it says Michael Kors on it, and this is an authentic lining. Some of them are facing upright, some of them are downwards, but this is an authentic lining that I see most commonly on the more popular bags. This is the lining that I have in the majority of my purses and wallets from Michael Kors. The lining in this one, I was actually surprised because it's only lined right here and on this center one. There's no lining on the bottom, there's no lining on the side, and it is this honeycomb lining, which there are some Michael Kors purses, particularly older models, that do have that honeycomb lining, but in a newer thing like this one, like I've seen this same wallet but the real deal in Nordstrom in the Michael Kors store. Like, this is like a popular newer kind of model, and it's not going to have this honeycomb lining. That very often is an indicator that it is a fake. So definitely watch out for that honeycomb lining. Also, I do feel like it should be lined elsewhere and not just in the middle. It does seem a little odd to me. One thing I don't think I mentioned earlier was another big difference is the smell, because I just noticed it when I opened this. So a real authentic Michael Kors is going to smell like leather, obviously, but this leather has like a really sweet, kind of like comforting smell to it. Like, this wallet is a year old and it still smells great. Like, even though it's been in and out of my bag, I've used it a bunch for like school and stuff, it still smells like that really nice sweet leather. This one, on the other hand, smells so gross. Like, ew, even when I open it, it's worse when I open it. It smells like a mix of plastic and chemicals. So your Michael Kors is going to be made out of leather. It's got to smell good. Trust me on that one. This even smells worse on the inside. Like, I don't even want to open it. But, so yeah, that's another thing. Another thing with the authentic Michael Kors is look at the stitching. So it is kind of dark, but you're going to have some pretty darn good stitching. It's going to be even across. There's not going to be any flaws in it. This one, I did notice as soon as I opened it that there is some stitching coming out, which of course this is a fake, you know, but a real one isn't going to have that stitching coming out. There's some poor stitching right here too. A real Michael Kors, like, that's not going to fly with it. Just looking at the inside is such a huge indicator for this one. Like, I don't even have to explain it that much because it's just like cheap, it's fake. The actual coin purse part of this, like, the lining's all bunched up on it. It literally feels like a piece of stock paper that's covered in a cheap lining. Like, it's really like, I don't know if you can hear that or see it. It's like there's got to be paper in there. Yeah, it's definitely made with a really cheap material. On the inside, I can see like Down here, there's more thread coming out, and just overall, it just feels really cheap versus, you know, the nice, authentic Michael Kors. So those are just the main differences I see with these ones. I had a lot of fun reviewing it. I think it's super interesting. If you go out and you want to buy the real deal, definitely do your research first. There's a lot of good articles that will tell you about like what's real, what's not real, and it's good stuff to know before you go out and buy anything. So I will be back with another video. I have some things in mind to review coming up, including Anastasia brows, Kylie lip kits, and some Yeezys. So those are some things that I'm going to be reviewing in future videos. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll be back with more. And I'd love to hear from you.